is Arunava Chaudhuri and you are on my YouTube channel Arunfoot. October 14th, 2025, 7:30 p.m. the Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium, the Fatorda in Margao in Goa. It's India versus Singapore in the AFC Asian Cup 2027 final round qualifiers. It's the final do or die match for India. Why? If we lose, we are surely out. If we draw, there might be a slim chance. But if we win, the small chance still stays alive for India to potentially qualify for Saudi Arabia 2027. But the appointment of Khalid Jamil, the recent performances, but especially that 1-1 draw away to Singapore on the 9th, doesn't leave a good feeling with me. Those of you who've watched the press conference of Khalid Jamil will realize that certain things he wanted to do in a certain way have not worked. He had to realize that he had to call up Subhashish Bose and Apuya to strengthen in the left back position as well as in defensive midfield. Sandesh Jingan is suspended due to 2 yellow cards against Singapore on that 9th of October. And that 1-1, that lucky 1-1 due to an alert Rahim Ali goal, it raises a lot of questions. And I say this as I've said in my lives in the last few days. You know what? At the moment, it is always, my head tells me India's going to lose. Maybe we might get a draw. My heart always wants India to win. And that's the thing. What kind of a team can we expect? What kind of changes can we expect? It is very, very clear that Singapore was the better team and they should have won at the National Stadium in Singapore last week. But we got away with the draw. But the problem now is for Khalid Jamil, because we've seen that in the CAF Nations Cup. We've seen this also in Singapore. His ultra-defensive style, will not work in the next 3 matches. We need 9 points if we want to go to Saudi Arabia 2027. Khalid needs to jump over his own shadow. And can he do that? That is going to be the question, because he's never been in this kind of a scenario. Never in his coaching career. And being a national team coach is something different than being a club coach. This is something which I think he's learning the hard way, despite having been a national team player. And I remember conversations we used to have 25 years ago in England about the national team setup and how it should be. And this is really the ultimate test for Khalid Jamil. For me, Gurpreet Singh Sandhu is an automatic starter in goal. Gurpreet also saved us in Singapore. And then we come to the midfield, defense first, and then midfield, defensive midfield, and then in attacking positions. I feel Valpuya, Rahul Beke, Anwar Ali, Subhashish Bose is potentially the best defensive setup. And what Subhashish Bose gives us is, theoretically, if there is a problem with our 2 other centre-backs, he can also move into that position if needed be. Because Khalid has realized over the ways, not ready yet for that level. And Paramveer, he said, he's a centre-back, he's a left-back, too young, too inexperienced for this level. In defensive midfield, I feel Nikhil Prabhu and Apuya would be my best possible combo, because Nikhil can take care of the defensive role. Apuya can join him in that, but also give us a little bit of creativity, a little bit of football in the middle of the park. On the wings, do we make changes or do we keep it the way? Changte, Liston, does Mahesh maybe get a look in? And then the other positions. Rahim Ali, Sunil Chhetri, to me looks like a potential combo if you want to start. Or, again, I don't know if Khalid is considering of putting Sunil on the bench. If he does and start with Rahim Ali, then maybe a Sahal or a Brandon or maybe even a Mahesh as a number 10. We need creativity. We need to play some sort of football against Singapore. Otherwise, Singapore, you can even come to the Fatorda and beat us there. They've done that against Bangladesh. They went to Dhaka and took the game to Bangladesh. And this is the danger. Singapore knows, looking at Hong Kong, they will need the points. The group is very, very clear. Hong Kong on 7 points, Singapore on 5, India on 2, Bangladesh on 1. As I started, we need a win, and it will be very, very interesting to see what starting 11 Khalid puts out, and if he changes his tactics for once in his life. What do you guys think? Do you agree? Do you disagree with me? You've got anything else to add, or maybe some different viewpoint to add to this conversation? Write it down in the comments below. And as always, like, share and subscribe Arunfoot here on YouTube. Visit my other social medias. Visit arunfoot.com. And I'll be back very soon. Arunava Chaudhuri signing off. Bye for now.